Hey guys, what's up? This is Draft5 over here with another video. I know it's been a while, but I think I need to make this video. I don't think anybody has actually made anything about it yet. And I don't know if anybody's going to do something like that because there's a lot of things like one-wheel conspiracy theories and stuff like that. Like most one-wheel information is only transported like from mouth to mouth or like in private chats. So it's actually pretty hard to access like information, and many people don't actually do that much of information. So I'm gonna make this video because I have a few theories on what will be happening here. So I don't know if everybody here knows about this, since I'm pretty sure most people on my YouTube channel don't actually one wheel. But if you are part of the one wheel community, you probably have heard of this. One Wheel has just on their Instagram, they just released uh, an image, and on their YouTube channel, it's going to be really going online the 27th of October at 10 a.m. And this is very interesting because a lot of people are suspicious logically. Like One Wheel has done videos before, which were very which made us think that we would maybe get a new board like here, like what's something missing. And so it's like you would think that maybe they're gonna release a new board through this video, but it's actually just like, if I skip here, it's just an XR, and then for some reason they show a pint animation. I don't know what the hell is going on in this video, honestly. It's like just literally just an advertisement. So hopefully this is not going to be just like another thing where they like come out with like a new fender with like, it's a different shade of red this time on our store. Wow, insane. Hopefully, because it is a live launch event, and the word launch means that there's something new that's coming to be, so it's not going to be an advertisement, that's for sure. But it could also be some really crappy thing. So I put this on like my story on Instagram. If you want, you can follow me on Instagram. I do a ton of one-wheeling stuff. It's at Dirtfish. I can type it in here, at Dirtfish_1. If you want to follow me, feel free to do so. And so on Instagram, I put this on my story, and somebody actually responded to me with this link. It's a patent by Kyle Jonathan, and if you don't know, Kyle Jonathan is um, the CEO, and I'm pretty sure founder. Yeah, he's the founder of One Wheel, and as you can see here, current assignee Future Motion Inc. And so this is very interesting because we're not sure if this is what's going to happen, but what it seems to be is we're going to get a one wheel with a suspension system built in, as you can see from these pictures. I'll talk about that later. So here with the abstract, I kind of grazed over all of this, but it's a lot of information. It's pretty much just repeating the abstract, and that's pretty much all you need to know for now. It's a one wheel that may, so important word here, it may include. So I don't know why they said may, because that's an interesting word choice, since like, what do you mean by may? Like, will you include it, or are you not going to include it? If you don't include it, then why is there this whole entire patent about it? So, like, in my opinion, a patent should be about like a thing that is like that you're sure about, and not just may. So I don't know what's going on here. Whether whether this is still like just a really rough draft, or if there's something else to it. But so it may include a suspension system configured to dampen up and down motion. So just explaining that it's a suspension system. And something that is interesting is, so this suspension system is completely different from the kill guard suspension system. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's kill guard suspension systems. It's this. It's these things right here, and it's a very bulky thing, and they're very heavy as well. Like, I wouldn't necessarily recommend them if you're like looking for racing and stuff, and they're pretty expensive too. But it's pretty much like this. And if you compare this and this right here, it's not the same thing. This is insanely compact. Now I'm going to talk about these pictures a little bit later. But what I want to say here is the suspension system may be disposed completely below a foot deck of the vehicle. Which means, because if you don't know, a one wheel, the rear section, so like, for example, here, the rear section, it contains the battery. And the front section contains the controller. So what this would mean is either the battery is going to be somehow back here, but just really small, which I don't know if it's going to get us less range or if they have like new technology, which is going to get us the same amount of range or more, but it's kind of worrying to see. Or the thing is, in front, somehow they're going to be able to make the controller smaller, and they're going to be able to fit the battery inside, but that would also mean that the battery will be smaller. And another thing is that the weight distribution will be completely different than on other one wheels, since a battery is, I'm pretty sure, much heavier than a push rod and a swing arm. So I don't know how this is going to work. I don't know where the battery is going to come in. So yeah, this is very interesting. Now, something else that I was looking at when I was looking here, just pretty much just at this section, is that right here, current assignee, it says also Motivo Engineering LLC, which is interesting because this is a one wheel. This is going to be a one wheel. At least that's what I'm guessing, since it says Kyle Jonathan, and it's from Future Motion, and Future Motion literally makes one wheels, and this thing literally looks like a one wheel. So it's interesting to see that somehow apparently they've partnered up with another company. And so I went and looked into this company, and it seems like kind of like, yeah, like a techie company that makes like revolutionary like new things. Like as you can see here, it's like a drone controller, or here's some autonomous car, or just like robots. And so what I've seen is from these three things. So they make like apparently they make flying cars, which makes no sense. They make autonomous cars, 3D printed stuff, and so and like they combine tech into it, which I guess would make sense for a one wheel, but it's not exactly the same classification. Now, the thing which is interesting, I know it doesn't make much sense for this board in particular, but aerospace. So they are also apparently transforming flying and like flying in the future by making planes and stuff like that. And the thing that's interesting that I noticed is this background. So I don't know if this is just random, but as you can see, so it's like a rocky landscape, kind of like of another planet or something, or I guess maybe not of another planet, but I guess it could be also interpreted like that. But there's also a very high focus on the blood moon. So if it doesn't have something to do with this, but it still has maybe something to do with Motivo Engineering, could it have to do with something like flight related? Because I don't know if you guys know the one wheel, the Future Motion conspiracy theory, but it has something to do with the people of One Wheel. They're just using Future Motion. They're just using One Wheel, the company One Wheel, to fund some military projects. I'm not going to go too in depth about that. You can ask people around, and I might even do a video about it. But currently, I don't know too much about it, so I will have to do more research about it before, though. So maybe that has something to do with it. I highly doubt it, but it's an interesting thing to be here, and the other things don't really fit in that much either, because a one wheel, there's nowhere you can like put in automation or robotic into a one wheel. So I don't know what's going on here with them partnering with Motivo, because none of these like descriptions of what they do really goes in with one wheels, other than the lithium powered leaning trikes. But it's a pretty different thing. So I don't know what's going on there with them partnering with somebody else, because that's pretty huge. I don't think they've ever partnered up with another company to make a one wheel before. So now let's look at the pictures. So here we have like the first diagram of the one wheel. So it doesn't look too different than a normal one wheel. The only thing that is noticeable, so logically there's the, okay, I guess you zoom in like that. There's the suspension set up back here. We'll see a more detailed version of this later. The interesting thing is there's this dotted thing. Now there's numbers on these. It says that. I feel stupid now. Well, apparently this is for the electrical control system, which means this is also a very interesting shape for it. But it looks to be much, much smaller than our previous one wheel control systems controllers, which is interesting. And then there's all this empty space here. And if you notice, this place is sectioned off into two sections, as it says literally here. Um, so would that mean that oh god, what have I done? Uh, um, would that mean that the board is going to be longer? And another thing that I see is it looks like if the board is actually wider. It like I've never seen like this looks really wide for some reason, in my opinion. Like if you compare it to like a normal one, I'm pretty sure there's not that much space between the rail and the like screws in the middle. So I don't know what's going on with that as well, and I'm guessing it has probably something to do with this section right here. Um, but maybe the one wheel is going to be thicker, wider, and maybe longer, or it's just giving the illusion that it's wider because maybe these foot pads are shorter, even though it looks kind of longer. And you'll see in another picture. So here we have once again. I don't know if yeah you can rotate it. Okay, here you can see it covered up. So as you can see here again, there's two sections again on the rear foot pad, and also it looks like maybe when you like put in a different foot pad, you might only like have to remove one section because that's kind of how it looks like it. And there's also these interesting holes here. I'm pretty sure yeah it has something to do with these connecting points. I'm pretty sure that could be some pretty cool things. Maybe have to do with mods. Another thing that I noticed is there's no screw holes here, even though here it shows that there would be maybe some screw holes, or maybe that doesn't actually go through the rails, it just goes to the wheel, which I guess would make sense. But that would mean then that the actual wheel would be connected through back here, which I guess could do some interesting things if you want to put on some modded rails. And the thing is, I don't really know how it's connected to the front. I guess it would be vertically connected. And here, once again, we have it opened. I don't know why we have it opened again, because it looks pretty much the same as before. But once again, you can pretty much see how it would be. And then here we come to this part. So this is where it kind of makes you think, like, these rails look... So first of all, the bumper, the bumper will be a different shape pretty clearly. And it's interesting how much space there is here, which also makes me think that they might be wider. And if you look at this, now I've never seen a board with just the rims, no tire, no foot pads, but this looks really long. So I don't know what's up with that. And so here you have another nice view of it. So it's an insanely compact system. Like if this works, like damn, good job One Wheel, because this is like pretty compact for a full-on suspension system. Now it probably won't like dampen out things as much as a kill guard suspension, but I'm guessing it'll still kind of dampen stuff out. Here you have another perspective of it. A thing that worries me a little bit is that it's only on one side, which would mean if the wheel is only connected through these two holes here, would that mean the wheel is only connected through here? Like only these 2 points and not on the other side, because that would be a very weak connection, it seems like. Now, the next thing, which is very interesting, is there's actually two designs. They're very similar, but if I go to the next one, if you compare this one and this one, if I spin around, if you compare these two, see, it's different. There is this part right here. Now, I have no clue why there is this part. And, I only noticed this now, but the board seems to be higher up somehow, which wouldn't be great, because, like, we want a lower center of gravity, but maybe that's just how it's, like, shown here. And there's going to be, and the suspension system inside of here is also different. But first I want to talk about these, because if we have these, it seems like it would be like some type of sliding in mechanism for the, instead of using screws for the fender, you would have to slide it in, which would considerably limit us into making like more custom fenders. But that would also mean the fender would be easily removable. So it would be kind of like the Craft and Ride magnetic fender, maybe, depending on how like secure it is. But that would also like once again it would limit us a lot on how we can do it. And also a thing that I've noticed is that there's a lot of space between the uh, like fender thing, I guess, and the wheel, which I'm pretty sure a lot of people that ride with their feet close to the wheel would not enjoy. Now, here is where it gets very crazy because here you can see the suspension. It's completely different than for the other one. So these are two completely different designs. I don't know why they have this uplift thing because I don't even think you need it here. But yeah, this thing right here. It takes a lot less depth space than this one. As you can see, this one goes all the way in, but it only takes half of the, or seems like half of the width, whereas this one takes the whole width, but then there's a lot of space back here. So maybe for this design, if they go with this design, it will be the the battery might stay behind, and it might actually have a weird shape, seeing how they made this interesting form right here. There's a lot of up space somehow. So yeah, maybe the battery will stay behind, and here it does seem like it would be far more secure by it connecting on both sides of the rail instead of for this one where it's just on one side. Then again, it might connect. Oh, it connects here as well, but this really doesn't seem as like sturdy for the wheel holding in as like another like as other one wheels. And also something interesting with this suspension is it would use horizontal. It would how in the world does this work? It uses horizontal suspension. Horizontal suspension. Okay, how is that converted to then vertical suspension though? I guess yeah, magic, I guess. But once again, as you can see, the board is as well very long, or what seems to be very long, and this seems to be a much more complex system. Now, what I'm wondering is, will the price for this be much more expensive than your average XR? Because honestly, I honestly don't think that like One Wheel would really want to risk making their One Wheel more expensive than $2,000, especially seeing how with the Pint they tried to get lower than $1,000. So it would be a very odd thing for them to do to just go like for $3,000 for a One Wheel. So I don't really know if the price is going to be different or if like maybe the price is going to be the same as an XR, but you have like less range or something, or if they have so much better technology that they can make smaller batteries that are also cheaper to make and that have the same range. And now, lastly, we have this diagram here of how everything will work. Now, I don't understand a lot of this, but I'm guessing this is how everything is going to go. So yeah, the plug, and it goes through this whole system. Now, I don't understand much of it, but I'll leave it here so that you guys can see it. I'll also leave the link to this in the description of the video. So yeah, this is pretty much what's going on here. I don't know. I guess we'll find out on Wednesday, but except if it's some other like Fender or something that they're gonna release. But I'm hoping. I'm really hoping it's gonna be something like this because this is gonna be interesting. This is gonna be really interesting to see. I'd really like to see it how it would look like without it being in a diagram form, like in like 3D modeled, to make it look realistic. But yeah, until then, I guess this is like as much information that we currently have. Um, so yeah, if you guys have any other ideas on what's going on, please tell me in the description. And I also want to say there is a patent actually for an electric scooter that One Wheel made. So what what is this? So maybe I don't know. Maybe this next thing might be electric scooter. Maybe it might be like who knows what it'll be. But for now, this is all we've got. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, don't forget to leave a like, and stay tuned for this, you know? That's hopefully going to be exciting, but just a warning, don't get your hopes up. It might just be some random thing again, and that we're all, like, very hyped about. So, yeah, there's no promises that it's going to be a new one wheel. I hope it's going to be a new one wheel, but, yeah, who knows? So, yeah, I'll see you guys later. And, yeah, please subscribe and like if you guys enjoyed this, and, yeah, see ya.